did outside this guy's
I like we
fence.
had a game without Nick.
We did.
That's right.
We?
Yes, this last session you were not present, I believe.
Oh. Well then.
So what have I got here in my notes? The party awakes, and as they're getting through their morning ablutions, Joseph, your friend from the barge, mentions that he'd overheard in the town that the madman that you had been chasing the previous day had been found murdered in the poor quarter.
That's right. And we went
that's
there
right.
and we found his body, me and Steve.
Yep.
Or, not Steve, yeah, Steve, but yeah.
Yeah.
My character, Steve's character, but yeah, we went there and I said, I bribed someone to come and see me at the Temple of Sigmar that night. And then we went to talk to the dodgy guy about stuff and found out more. And we found out that the secret room where we found the ruined body of the goblin was underneath the house of the merchant guy whose name matches the handkerchief that I found there.
Yeah.
That's right.
What else did you find out? You found out some information about... you found out that there had been multiple dead bodies show up over the past couple of years that have wounds similar to that of both the madman and Gottfried the dwarf that you found in the sewers.
Yeah.
Not in like quick succession, but over a period of probably about 18 months to 2 years, there's been a succession of bodies showing up. And then, yeah, as Leon and Wolfgang were leaving the tavern, Johanna had posted herself outside. And when they came out, they couldn't find her, and then heard a sort of a commotion from an alley around the side, and found Johanna being cornered by a bunch of thugs. And you got into a bit of a scrap.
Fought us to the death.
They fought you to the death.
Which we were a bit like, why are you still fighting us? Like, you're clearly... Like, yeah, you're fucking Johanna up, but, like, it's clear that me and, what's Steve's character's name?
Leon.
Gosh, awful. Leon, yeah. It's clear that Wolfgang and Leon are not... Like, you basically can't roll enough to hurt us.
Yeah.
Past our toughness bonus and armor, and we're clearly killing you.
Yeah.
And yet they stayed there, so that was interesting. And then the guards were just about to show up, I believe.
Yeah, I think they just showed up just as the fight ended.
That's right.
And they have escorted you to the Temple of Shalia, as Johanna was quite badly hurt.
That's right. Yes.
So that is where we left off. I will also make a point that Wolfgang's shield was completely destroyed in that fight.
Yep.
Because you decided to soak a couple of critical wounds into just damaging the shield.
Yep. Yep.
Johanna, you spent a point of resilience to avoid taking a critical wound.
That's right.
Leon has also taken a bunch of damage to his weapons and hardware. His halberd's taken 2 points of damage. His helmet's taken a point of damage. But also, no one contracted itching pox off of Leon, so well done.
Hooray!
Before I forget about it,
Oh.
each of you may add 70 experience for your investigations so far. Alex, make yours 75 because you received a holy vision.
That's right. I did.
And that was a prerequisite. Is that one of you received a holy vision?
Okay, but yes, I received a holy vision being like, yeah, shit's real.
Shit's real.
Shit's fucked. And I've obviously told everyone that numerous times.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
They're like, you don't shut up about it.
I mean, I won't get it because I wasn't there, but I'll be like, how real is shit?
I said I went to the Temple of Sigmar. After obviously we went to follow this sinister cult that everyone tells us is fine, but I am still convinced is not. It's still a front. And once there, I was met by a fool, a young fool who's calling himself the High Priest of Sigmar in this town. So they have turned a long way from the true light of the Empire, it seems. And he rest assured me again that this cult is not a problem. But yet, as I lay there praying, prostrate before the altar, I received a vision from Holy Sigmar. I heard his voice echo in the chambers of my mind. And I know this to be true. And he said that there is a great threat to the Empire brewing here. And not to turn back from my concern, that there is real threat and risk here. And that's been confirmed, I think, by hearing more about the goings on and these regular disappearances and murders. Our dwarven acquaintance turning up dead.
Alright. Well, what do we do now?
Well, you are currently en route to the Temple of Shalia. Can I get each of you, please, to make a average endurance test?
Absolutely. Easy money.
You'll love to see it.
Hot fucking damn, Wolfgang.
Wow.
Let's just calm down a second.
I was worried that it still had my advantage factored in, but it doesn't.
Wow. Steph?
Yep. Just getting it up, sorry.
Yeah, I've got shit heaps of endurance and I got 15 advances in it, so
Wow.
my stock endurance is 71.
That is bonus.
Yeah.
Come on, computer.
My
Let's
tough water.
endurance is 71.
I've put 15 advances into
Yeah.
it, but yeah, my 71 is my endurance.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Right,
put
just do
20
it.
advances into it then.
Just a heave.
No, I start at 56.
Ho ho.
Excellent.
Toughness 50.
Well done.
Gotcha.
Well done, all
Gotcha,
of you.
gotcha.
Alright, you make it to the Temple of Shalia with no further incident. These town guards sort of see you inside and see you into the ministrations of some of the priests and priestesses there, and then they head off doing the remainder of their rounds. And you guys spend, I would say, probably the better part of 3 or 4 hours there, being sort of tended, having your wounds cleaned. Johanna is sort of more focused on than the rest of you, but
Naturally.
Naturally.
the lot of you are sort of tended to. So I will say that you each recover your toughness bonus plus 2d4 hit points from their ministrations.
Cool.
So that, I assume, will probably take you back up to full.
It does. Yeah.
Yep. Nice. That will
Nice.
probably get you close to full, I imagine.
Let's see.
What is Leon
10.
on? He is on. Let's reset that to
Cool. That's more like it.
he is on 12. So let's roll. That's just for Leon. 4 plus 4 is 8, which takes you back up to full. Cool. So you should all be basically either on full health or close to, I should think.
Close to.
Cool. Alright. By the time you are free to leave the Temple of Shalia, it is quite late at night. Most of the storefronts are closed. You can still see sort of some some lights down various streets to where maybe some taverns are still kicking on, and a bit of noise coming from the docks where you can hear maybe a late ship has come through and it's being unloaded. But otherwise, it is all quiet and all dark.
I need to explain it. I need to go to the Temple of Sigma.
Cool.
Because it's what I've said, and I expect that there will be someone there. There's someone there waiting to see me, hopefully.
Yep.
Or a throng of greedy commoners, but I have a plan. If I have a plan in either situation.
All right. Do the rest of you accompany?
Yeah.
So you can do what you want. Like
I'm
it's
gonna
I'm just
stay where there are people where I won't get mugged in alleyways.
Sensible.
Yeah, I'm gonna help support whatever the hell is going on because I'm like, what are we doing? That's all I have to say.
All right.
Okay. Well, so while we're walking there, I guess I'm not going to be paying a lot of attention around because I'm going to be paying attention to telling you guys what my plan is and talking about it more. And
Yeah.
so it's of course when myself and Leon went to investigate the body, and you and Johannes waited outside, and you saw me while Leon went inside to investigate to find out a bit more, and I investigated the body. I found this strange artifact on the body, and I'll show you guys the necklace,
Hey.
which Ben can probably describe better than I can remember. But
Yep. You actually hadn't cleaned it off. It was dirty, and you
oh,
sort of
okay. Well
pocketed
then,
it immediately.
I guess while I was in the Temple of Charlier, I would have done that.
Okay. Well, in that case, let me tell you
Right,
what it looks
yeah.
like.
Okay.
Let me go back to where it is.
Yep.
Where are we? Right. Okay. So yeah. So when you clean it off, you will recognize from your time spent in the town, particularly from your time spent in the Adel Ring sort of rich merchant quarter part of town.
Yep.
It is one of the sigils of one of the noble houses. It is the sigil of House Teugen.
Where you going?
Now,
Who?
remind me again. Sorry, the Toigans.
You've spoken with Councillor Teugen. You had suspicions that he may be a
That's-
In the
vampire.
town
Right.
hall.
That's right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
He was absolutely, totally not a vampire.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
totally not a vampire.
Totally not a
That's
vampire.
right. Okay, so
Zero chance.
fantastic. Okay, so this guy was, and this was in his hand, wasn't it?
It wasn't on his hand. It was like tucked into a pocket or something.
Okay. Right. Here I was thinking he'd like clutched it off his attacker's neck. Anyway, so I say, well, he had this on him. We're bearing the symbol of Teugen, the man who paid us, but is also clearly harboring some kind of sinister plans, and is a member of this thinly disguised chaos cult. But I am certain that there are those who knew more than they were letting on in that crowd. If I get a trooper, if one of them turns up to seek the truth and speaks it, for I feel I was able to sway the crowd thus, then they may be able to give us some more information about what they saw and give us a more concrete avenue to look down. In addition to obviously learning that the merchant we first went after is definitely involved in what's going on. If not, if there's a massive crowd of people expecting to be paid money by telling me stories, then I intend to try and whip them into a frenzy to do our business for us, and to start causing problems and difficulties for those who wish to keep going around unnoticed, causing issues. So obviously warning you guys of that, because if there is a crowd of people there wanting to get my money, I'm going to do my best to turn them into an angry mob to go and start to basically attack the rich people's house where they were having the secret meeting.
Nice.
So we'll see what happens, I guess. But that's my plan. Do you have any thoughts or things I should add to that? Any other pieces of information you think I might have forgotten?
I'm just gonna sip at my
I'm gonna
flask.
see where this goes.
Hey, I'll just follow along for now. Sippy sip.
feel like we really need an adult, given the 3 characters that are here.
I'm not an adult.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, neither of you guys are going to stop me doing anything crazy. I'm not going to
No.
stop. I'm not going to stop me doing anything crazy.
I might try and hold you back if I can see you're gearing up to, like, if you see someone and you're like, oh, by Sigmar's flame, I'll just be like, hold on a second.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe by just a little bit of calming down.
It's like, look, there's no trolls here, there's no dragons here, no reason for us to die here,
Yeah.
right? So if it looks like we're going to try and get to a fight, I might, like, come up and push you back, if that
Calm
makes
me down
sense.
a bit. Fair, no, fair enough.
Bring
Yeah,
you back from
sure.
the edge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've explained my intent, just so you guys are aware.
Wonderful.
All right. Well, it doesn't take you long to go to the Temple of Sigmar. It is obviously you're in sort of Temple Square. It is on the opposite side of the square to where you are.
Yeah.
So I imagine you probably stopped in the middle of the square to explain all of this.
Pretty much, yeah. And I guess I'd probably be able to see if there's like some big crowd or not gathered.
Yeah.
At this time, being that it is quite late, there appears to be no one waiting out the front. There are a couple of, I guess they'd be members, like Order of the Fiery Heart or something like that, standing guard outside.
Yep.
But otherwise, there appears to be no one else outside.
I forget. Did I mention what time did I specifically say?
I don't recall, but I would have said probably midnight makes sense. That feels very poetic.
I can't remember if I said midnight or like sundown, but
I think it was midnight.
If sundown, I would have made sure to be there. Let's say it was midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you enter into the temple. The guards, obviously, seeing you in your holy attire, they make no move to sort of stop you.
Yep.
At the at the late hour that it is.
Yep.
It's fairly quiet in there. There's a few people towards the front sitting in pews, making sort of their own sort of quiet personal penances. Do you pull up a seat in some of the pews, or do you try to get into sort of like a cloister or a nave somewhere and wait to see if anyone arrives?
I want to try and flag down a junior lay clergy.
Sure.
Right, like someone who I would wow with my presence, just in that I'm a imposing looking figure, and I'm a bit of a known character, at least now. I would be. Imagine I'm not just a junior priest. I'm silver 2 or whatever my tier is. Like I'm a bit higher up, in my rankings. I mean, not so much in a priestly sense, more in a warrior priest, I guess. But still, I'm not just a shit muncher. I'm a higher up. So I want to try and find someone who's a bit lower down, and then I'm gonna try and I'm gonna ask them basically some stuff.
All right. Roll for me. Roll for me an average leadership test. Nice.
Good.
That's a strong leadership.
94? Jesus Christ.
Again, fellowship is 59, and I put 15 advances into it.
Fucking hell.
It's the opposite of Nick's character.
I put 20. I put 20 into fellowship, and then I put 15 into leadership. So.
Oh my god.
All right. So, in no time at all, you've managed to sort of signal one of the junior sort of clergy novitiates over, and he is suitably awed by your presence. He sees sort of Sigmar's aura sort of glowing around you, and what is it that you ask of him?
I explained to him. I said I reintroduced myself and say, brother, I am Brother Vigmar, hailing from Middenland. You may have heard of my arrival and that of some of my companions, and I'll gesture to them, who I presume you guys are hanging back a little. I would have asked you guys to hang back a little bit.
Yeah. I'll just wave.
and I am here
Yeah.
on, I'll Blues Brothers it. I'm here on a mission from Sigma,
Yep.
and I put my
Shades on.
put my sunglasses on and start cracking a whip to Rawhide.
Yep. Excellent.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
Thank you.
I'm here on a mission from Sigma. I have received word and vision, and seen the signs and portents that a great evil seeks to unleash itself upon the Holy Empire from within this very city. Now, please trust me when I say this. I do not think there are almost none that you can trust. Even the other brothers in this temple, I have reasons to suspect, are either aware of it or their eyes have been blinded by the dark enemy. I sent message for like-minded souls to come here to see me tonight. Have you heard anyone who has come seeking me out here? Secondly, I wish you to spread this message amongst your the other lay clergy, that there is what are they called? The Brotherhood of
The Auto-septenarius.
That's right. Auto-septenarius are a cult of chaos who have been sacrificing people beneath the warehouses of the merchant's name.
Yeah. Steinhager.
Steinhager.
That's one way to do it.
If you were to travel the sewers to the below his, is it his warehouse or his manor?
His offices.
His offices, that's right. Under his offices in the sewers, there is a fell chamber where heinous acts have been committed and dedicated to the dark gods. I will be I'll be seeking out those who commit these profane acts and putting them to the torch and the hammer, as is just under the light of Sigma.
Nice.
So he's whipped up into a fervor from this. Oh,
Nice.
of course, brother.
Good.
I have heard of your appearance in this town, as well as those of your compatriots. And he sort of bobs his heads at the rest of you behind him. And no, sir. No one has arrived speaking after you. At least not as of yet. I shall keep my ears to the ground, so to speak, to see if anyone does
If
arrive.
they do arrive, I shall be waiting here for most of the rest of the night, if I have to.
Very, very good, sir. Very good. As for the other lay clergy, of course, I'll go and spread the word amongst my brethren, and we shall follow your beck and call, sir.
Yes. But I caution you, be wary of the high priest, for I feel that he has been led astray, either through ignorance or through heinous acts himself.
Oh, Sigma, preserve. Right. Okay. Well, I'd better be going then, sir. And he throws a sign of the twin-tail comet to you, and scuttles away. Very much scuttles
Great.
away.
Yeah.
And so you pull up a seat in one of the. I assume you're in a pew somewhere.
How's it sort of laid out?
Very much like most other traditional temples of Sigma, which are, I guess, quite similar to a standard Catholic church. So they're almost like a cross. It's meant to represent the hammer.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
So
I'm actually going to go kind of as close to the nave, I guess, like the crossing point of the hammer and the shaft.
Yeah.
As is appropriate.
Sure. So
right? And I'm gonna sort of like kneel on the floor there and pray.
Sure. Okay, sounds good. So I reckon the couple of people that you saw who were already in there making their own sort of obeisances, whatever that word is.
Yeah.
They are probably somewhere in the middle of the sort of rows of pews. So you sort of like stride past them and then sort of kneel. Maybe I would reckon maybe 2 rows from the front row of pews.
Yeah.
So not
I'm
right at
making
the very
myself
front,
look
but
obvious.
really obvious.
Yeah. And I would have explained to Gehenna and Ulrich that I'm being sensible about this. I'm not just in a fervor. I'm doing this separately. Like I'm explaining to them that I'm doing it as part of the show.
Yeah.
To get the attention and to see what comes of that, because I think, obviously we've staked out these places. It's getting tricky. I don't know. I'm going to try and kick things into action.
Yep. What are the rest of you doing whilst Wolfgang is making a quote unquote scene?
So, how far back did you want us?
Oh, it was when I was talking to the guy. I just meant like hang back here while I talk to him. You can
Okay.
you can do what you like now, I guess. I don't care what you want to do. Like I would have said on the way over. I said, look, I'm going to do this. If there's people waiting for me, then I'm going to do it into a further. If not, then I'm going to wait until some turn up. Either way, I'm hoping someone turns up to either tell me some more info, or there's a crowd that gathers and we can, make them into an army for they can help do our bidding. Can you guys, I guess, keep an eye out if people start turning up?
Mm.
Otherwise, you're welcome to go back to the thing and investigate some of the other leads we've got as well. I don't know. Like that's like I'm happy to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to just like circle around. Yeah, when like there's always some guy at the party who's never just sitting down. He's always walking around and always like watching. I want to be like
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Cool. Sounds
Be
good.
that
Sounds good.
guy.
Just a little restless, but not like super running around or anything.
And Johanna, what about you?
I might just sit quietly, to be perfectly honest. Johanna's had a bit of a rough day. She would like to sit down.
Sure. So I'm going to say that you slide into one of the pews, sort of adjacent to where Wolfgang is kneeling, and sort of pull your hat down low and maybe nod off for a little bit.
Yep.
Have a quiet
Johanna
kit.
wants a nap.
All right. Time passes. There is Wolfgang and the rest of you. I'll say all of you. I won't make you roll for this. The other people who are in there making their own sort of private communions quietly leave at some point over the next couple of hours.
Yep.
Leaving you essentially alone. There are a few priests dotted here and there who are sort of wandering around, lighting candles. Checking the counting the votive coins that were left in offering, all that sort of stuff. But they're leaving you alone. And no one else has entered the temple after the last two people who were in there left. Wolfgang and Gehenna will hear this. Ulrich won't, because he has terrible hearing.
Very much so.
You hear in the distance the tolling of the bell at the town hall, and then about, I would say probably about 5 seconds after, the bell that is in the steeple of the Church of Sigmar starts tolling, which Ulrich definitely hears, signifying that it is midnight. The bell continues to toll, and nothing happens. No one arrives. A couple of minutes go by, and then a few more, and then half an hour, and still no one has arrived. Wolfgang, you're about to lose faith in your ability to whip a crowd into a religious fervour.
Yeah.
When there's a very quiet creaking of the door.
Yeah.
And a solitary figure in a hooded robe enters. And
if I'm there sort of praying facing the middle,
yeah.
I would have probably turned my head slightly to hear the noise.
Yes. Yep.
If I noticed it.
Yeah, you definitely would have noticed it. Ulrich, I'm gonna say at this point in your circuit, you're probably at the far end, the furthest away from the door, so you probably didn't hear it, but Johanna would have definitely heard it, and Wolfgang certainly would have heard it.
I'll look from under my hat.
Just crack an eye.
Yeah.
This individual rather quickly makes their way down the sort of central aisle, and then slides into the seat next to Johanna and looks over at Wolfgang and says, I've been looking for you all over. And the minute he speaks, the two of you, Ulrich, I think by this point you probably would have noticed this person come and sit down next to them, so you would be heading back. I'll say you probably catch this as well. You recognise that man's voice, for it is Guildmaster Megirius, who you met the day prior.
Ah.
And whereabouts again do we meet him?
Councillor Toygan sent you to deliver a message to him.
That's right.
And that's where you sort of found out about the Auto-septenarius. He informed you that it was nothing serious. Yeah. He looks somewhat pale and worried. Very different to how you saw him literally the day before.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm going to stand up and gesture to him to come over to me.
Yep.
And then I'm going to do like a try and find Ulrich.
Yep.
And I'm doing like a 2 fingers at my eyes, 2 fingers at the door.
Yeah.
Good idea.
And same thing at Johanna, like 2 fingers at my, and like other doors around offset. But if he's in the
Cool,
middle
yeah.
talking with me, then I feel like we can kind of like have a bit of space around us.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
not, it's hard if I have secret ears on us or anything. Like we're going to be very obvious to see, but we're not going to be snuck up on. I guess that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Alright, keep an eye.
So you
Maybe
guys...
I'm making it creepy with my Dark Monastery chant music that I'm playing, but I don't know.
So yeah, you guys sort of provide a bit of buffer zone around Wolfgang and Megirius, and Megirius doesn't throw back his hood. He keeps it drawn. He's obviously trying to hide his appearance from any passers-by. And he looks obviously agitated, and he says, "Should we not go somewhere more private? What I have to discuss is somewhat delicate." And he's sort of flicking his eyes from left
Why,
to right.
yes, I will give you a blessing in this holy place, this temple of Sigmar. And I kind of like look at him and say, kneel.
And he does so.
And I reach out and I sort of come round. I sort of gradually start circling him, and I'm doing symbols and gang signs and twin tail comets and blessings.
Yeah.
And all that
And I'm
kind of
saying,
stuff.
and I'm getting him, and I say, now repeat after me. And then I mumble something, and then I say, what did you, like, talk to me? Like, you know, like I'm trying to put up a bit of a show, right? And I say, it is less private if you, like, it is, we are hiding in plain sight kind of thing.
Can you make for me a have you got like an entertain storytelling or an entertain...
I have specifically got entertained storytelling, yes.
Great. I was going to say, if you had entertain acting, I would rather you do that, but
I
entertain
don't have that,
storytelling will
unfortunately,
work. Make
Yeah.
for me I'm going to say an average entertain storytelling test.
Sure.
I imagine you'd be quite good at this because it's fellowship based. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. So, yeah, you pull this off without any sort of eliciting any sort of suspicion from anyone else.
Yeah.
And he says, it's been so long. I've had this on my mind for so long, and I've not been able to tell anyone. But things have changed rather rapidly, and I feel that I now must come clean. When Toygan first came to us from Nuln, he told us that with our help, his sorcery could influence the economy of the Empire. Bögenhafen would become great again, greater even than Marienburg, and that we should all become rich beyond our wildest dreams. That was why the Auto-septenarius was established. But the lower ranks are no more than a smokescreen. Everything was going according to Toygan's plans until you discovered the temple underneath Steinhager's office. I was instructed to reassure you, to make you go away so that the preparations for the ritual to make us all rich would go on without pause. The
And
ritual...
yet the light of Sigmar will shine upon all, and and his hammer of justice shall come down upon them mightily. And then I go on. Yeah, trying to be like, I guess intimidate him a little bit, but also be like, yep.
The ritual will take place and he sort of looks at the very dark windows and says, tonight, now, not now, this evening coming. I do not know where yet, but I'll get word to you as soon as I can. Toygan said that there was a human sacrifice necessary to prepare the new temple, and that was just too much for me. I didn't realize anyone would have to be killed. You must help me. Going to the authorities is useless, as Toygan and the Inner Council control them. You're my only hope.
Alright, I will... I'll stand him up and finish with like a blessing of the hammer, like like full on in his face and everything.
Yep.
And say you have done just in coming to me with this, but we need as much information. We're going to have to act very quickly now, for I fear the damage that the doors are being opened to powers beyond your ken. It is not wealth that they will bring, but evil.
Oh no, I agree entirely. I acquired this without Toygan's knowing, and he slips you a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Let me just get that and reveal it to the lot of you. Is this? Okay. Show to players. So I should make that large for those playing along at home.
Cool.
That did not
Right.
really work.
Ooh, fancy.
Here is the scroll you require for the ritual you mentioned in your last letter. Do not forget the temple for such an undertaking must be sanctified with fresh blood. Ooh.
That doesn't bode well.
Indeed, it does not.
Illustrious footsteps.
I'm gonna take that.
Cool.
Okay.
And he says, right, I will get word to you as soon as I can when I find out about the new location for the ritual that will take place tonight.
So it's not happening in the temple.
No, the temple has been deconsecrated thanks to your efforts. So it is being moved to a new location. I do not know where. He hasn't informed me yet, but once I know, I'll pass that information on as soon as I may.
And how can you do this?
I will send one.
Will he not know that you've come to see us? Will he not know that you've come to see me? Will you? And
No. I was most I used much guile in getting here. I was not followed, nor was I seen. I will have one of my household guards. Sorry, not household guards. One of my house squires bring you a message. Where might I find you?
okay, I'm gonna gesture to the other you two guys to come in here and like join in this bit now.
Okay, sure.
And I
Any
guess
more?
I'll get him to repeat slightly what he said, just a bit.
So he
And then so where do we all think we should meet? Or where should he send us a message?
Not back to the ship, eh?
Well, it is central. It means if it's either side of the river we can get there. Very well. And we tell him the dock to take it to.
All right. Well, he says, very well. Right. I must go. I shall slip out. It's probably better if I go alone, so that we do not attract attention. A group attracts more
Of
attention
course.
than a single man.
Of course.
And he pulls his hood even further onto his head, and he very quietly slips out of the door, showing a lot more stealth than you would expect for a man of his bearing.
Yep.
Cool.
Alright, so I relay most of that information to you guys. Obviously. As I suspected. And then I guess my idea then would be I want to try and get the lay people of I do, like my idea is to try and this is all I guess in character. I'm sort of thinking I have the lay priests of the temple who I think I can get to help us, even if they cause a distraction. And then I wonder if those dwelling in the slums could also cause a similar distraction if we told them that one of the merchants was hiding things in the warehouse for them to seize. I don't know. I don't want to get people killed, but beyond obviously those committing evil. But I don't want the people to fall to chaos in the sleep, without knowing about what's going on. So I'm going to rouse the people of the town to get them ready.
Well, I think at the very least, being that the hour is late and it does not seem that any further people are coming to visit you at the temple,
Yep.
either you may spend the rest of the night here waiting in the hope that someone shows up, or you can return to the barge and try and get a few hours of shut-eye.
Yeah. I want to try and find the lay cleric I was talking to before.
Yep.
And I'll find one of the other priests around.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you his name, but I'm sure I got his name.
Yes.
And I'll just say, are you able to fetch me brother so and so, please?
Yeah. So not long after you do that, the young novitiate reappears, still with that sort of fervor in his eyes, and he says, "Yes, sir. You summoned me."
I say, there are things afoot that are happening even quicker. I have received a message. Just this very night, someone came to see me, and they have given me information that there will be a profane ritual carried out tonight.
Oh, is that so?
There is. I would... Any who feel they may be justly armed, I would ask if you could encourage any, even if they are asleep, they will be justly rewarded in Sigmar's eyes by this. Take up arms, patrol the streets, look out for your fellow man of the Empire, look out for your fellow citizens, shepherd Sigmar's folk, as you are meant to be, as we are all meant to be as priests of the Hammer. If you are not so martial, not so ready for battle in his name, then I urge them all to come here and pray. Pray as hard as you can to shut out those dark gods, those evil, dark enemies of ours.
Even I'm nodding a bit.
Yeah. He's obviously, wrapped up in this fervor. Yes, of course, sir. I'll get as many of my brethren as I can together, and we will either patrol the streets, or we shall pray for Sigmar's
Make haste.
benevolence.
Make haste.
Yes, of course.
I must depart now, but make haste.
Of course. And he scurries off to go and start whispering in the ears of various different priests.
Yes. All right. Well, I guess we go back to the boat.
Cool. Can I get each of you to make for me, please, an average endurance test?
These endurance tests are giving me some anxiety here.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Stop worrying about it, Nick.
I am worrying about it a lot now, actually.
Yeah.
I
I'll
really
have
need
you
you
find.
to.
Yeah.
I really need
I'll
you to
have
stop
you know.
worrying about it.
I'll have you know that I worry. No. I feel like it's itching
I'm
pox
gonna worry
related, but
even
it might not
harder
be.
now.
Cool. Okay. Not a problem. I will say, however, that I believe the correct term is the moon is gibbous.
Oh, yeah,
Ah.
cool. Nice.
I think that is
Big old green moon.
big old green moon.
Big old green moon.
It
Yeah, cool.
is even larger than it was the previous night, and those of you who looked at it and thought, "Is that a face in the moon? That looks kind of
Yeah.
weird." Very much, a very clear skull
Yeah.
face in the moon.
Yeah, cool.
It seems to hang impossibly close over the town.
Yeah.
Almost as if it was scraping the tops of some of the tallest buildings.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so you make it back to the boat.
Yep. Great.
You bed down. Nothing else to worry about. I will now get you to make rolls to see if you contract itching pox. The other ones weren't for itching pox.
No.
Oh,
And this is an endurance one now.
Yes, again, endurance test, yeah.
again,
And
average
average as well.
challenging.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, easy times.
oof.
Excellent, excellent. Great. Obviously, Leon doesn't need to make one because he already has it.
Yep.
He's the one
I've
giving
got
it to you.
too much Sigma
one
given
benefit.
5G. Sigma's 5G protects me from itching pox.
That's exactly right. That's what the chip's for.
That's it. That's it.
All right. You wake the next morning to a town that seems somewhat abuzz.
So I didn't get a message from this guy. We didn't get a message from this dude about the ritual happening tonight.
Nothing as of yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean
Alright.
it was late in the late in the night when he
Oh,
spoke
he
to you.
didn't mean that night, like then. He meant
No,
like
he meant the night coming.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, right. I was like, what? Okay.
Well, because when he arrived, it was past midnight, so my logic was it's
okay.
you know
Fair-
this
no,
night coming.
I'm sure I understood it at the time in character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're awake to find the town. Oh, and Steph, if you hadn't fully healed, you're fully healed now.
Hooray!
The town is in a bit of a buzz. Scharfenfest finished yesterday. It was the last day, so a lot of the stall holders and itinerant folk who had arrived to have stalls or throw stones or whatever nonsense that they were doing for Scharfenfest are in the process of packing up their wares and their tents and their caravans and getting ready to head out. A lot of the guards who had been hired on to protect the caravans as they travelled, they are stumbling out of the various taverns that they have been spending the last 3-4 days in, getting ready to move on to the next town or city that this caravanserai will take them off to.
Yep.
But there are a few other signs that things are not as it would normally be in the town. There appears to be a much heavier town watch presence than there has been in the last few days, and it was already quite heavy during the Scharfenfest anyway, due to the high influx of people that have come to the town for the festival.
Yeah.
But there seems to be like a marked increase in town watch presence. And dotted in amongst those, Wolfgang, you notice the occasional priest of Sigmar.
Great.
Sometimes by themselves, sometimes in twos. Occasionally, you might even spot them with a priest from a different order.
Yep.
You spot a priest of Ulrich, a priest of Mamidia, a priest of Tal. Just
Yeah.
lots of various different religious folk wandering around.
Yep.
Do you just wait at the boat until a message arrives, or do you go out and do stuff around the town?
I want to go to the poor district again, the slums.
Yep.
And I kind of want to do a bit of priesting around there, I guess.
Sure.
That's fun.
And invest. And I guess I'm looking to investigate a bit more, but also I want to hear some more of these rumors about like what I heard yesterday from the guy who's totally not running the smugglers
Yes.
in from a tavern.
Yep.
And be like, hey, and I guess what I want to do is talk to people, pray with people, encourage them to be vigilant, highlight the crazy that got murdered and all this other weird shit that's going on, and I guess also ask about other people that have gone missing.
Yep. Okay.
I'm not going to try and draw as big attention to myself. I'm not going to go in there flashing gold coins and getting massive crowds at this stage.
Yeah. Okay.
That was
So
my
a bit
idea,
more
a
subtle,
bit more
but
subtle.
the same sort of approach. Otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay. The rest of you.
I reckon I want to wait on the ship for this message.
Okay.
Yeah, I do not want to miss it.
Yeah.
Under any circumstances.
And
That is
Johanna.
sensible.
Sorry, say again. My things.
What are your plans for whilst Wolfgang is off proselytizing to the masses?
Probably stock up on some health potions, I reckon.
Sure. You find some at market value, so you can purchase however many you want with whatever currency you've got. They'll be I can't remember how much they are. A couple of silvers each, I think, from memory.
Yeah, sure. I'll grab
Healing draft.
Yes, I think they're 12, I reckon, but I might be wrong.
That does sound right, but let me check. Miscellaneous trappings, is that it? Oh, items? Other items? Are you going to ever load anything? That'd be great. Books, trade, blah blah blah, donkeys, no. Oh, you're so close, Alex. It's 10.
N, there you go.
Nice.
So yeah, 10 silvers. So
Alright, I will get 4 of them.
Sure. Alright, so you do that. Wolfgang, you go out into the pit, which is the name for the poor quarter.
Yep. Yep.
And you're being a little bit more subtle. You're not sort of marching in there breastplate
No,
polished to a high
I've got
sheen.
robe over armor, hiding armor. I am not, obviously I don't have a shield. I'm gonna have my hammer, Smith's hammer, my like one-handed hammer, but I will have my symbol of Sigmar very obvious in the outside of my chest.
Yes, cool. Alright, so you spend some time, a good few hours, I would say, gathering rumours, trying to inspire the flock, as it were.
That's it. Like I'm shepherding Sigmar's folk. If
You
there's
are.
if there's someone who's struggling to move something heavy, I'll step in and help and
Yep, exactly
talk to
right.
them a bit and ask them about their day and things.
Um,
And, I might at lunchtime, depending on how long it goes, I'll go into a tavern and I'll buy everyone drinks, but I'll do it calmly in that I'll like go quietly to the bartender.
yeah.
Can I buy everyone a drink and a simple meal? And please tell them that it is a blessing from Sigmar.
Yeah.
Nice.
It is from Sigmar that's done this kind of thing. It's
Mark off.
and I'll stay sitting in the tavern when that happens and stuff. But
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I'm gonna say mark off. Let's say 6 shillings for all of the ale and meals purchased and whatnot.
Sure. Yeah.
So you. The second thing is I'm going to give you a point of resolve.
Cool.
For acting in accordance with your motivation.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Back to max resolve, I think.
Back to max resolve. Nice.
Well, how does resolve calculate
Who's
it again?
max
Do we know?
resolve?
Who is max resolve? No one ever knows.
I had it in brackets how much resolve I had, I think. So I've put
So
my
you
resolve back up.
it's not calculated as such. You had a set number of points that you could spend during
That's
character
right.
creation to put into
That's
resolve and fate.
Yeah.
And then your resilience equaled your resolve and your fortune equaled your fate. That sort of thing.
That's right. And your fortune still equals your fate, I think.
Your fortune equals your fate, but
And
resets
regenerates each session.
every session. Yeah.
That's
But resilience and resolve you only get back for doing stuff in accordance with your
Yeah,
motivation.
that's right.
Fate is something that is only dished out at the GM's discretion.
That's right.
Sounds right.
You've got to do something pretty excellent to get.
Oh
to
yeah,
those.
yeah.
Understandable.
Like killing Babrikos. I'm pretty sure I gave you all fate points back for that one.
I think that's why I've got one fate and one
Yeah.
fortune. Yeah, because I had none left, so that's why. Yeah.
So you, over the course of the morning and into the early afternoon, you hear just snippets, rumors, just bits of information, just sort of filling out and padding the details that you had already heard.
Yep.
So if I can just find my notes on that, there is. Where are we? Yeah. So you get you find out that there's been about 6 bodies of various different beggars, itinerant drunks, homeless people who were found dead in the sewers or their bodies floating in the river over the past year. With injuries not dissimilar to that of the madman that you ran into the other day, whose name you find out is, I think it's Ulthwar.
Okay.
Let me double check that though, because I don't want to tell you the wrong thing.
Sure.
Doesn't help me. Bögenhafen. Ulthar.
All right.
You find out that the Steinhager officers have seen a lot more activity from at night than you would expect for the office of a merchant company. There's lots of members of not just Steinhager's family, but other merchants as well, from other sort of even rival merchant houses that have been visiting at all hours of the night over the past 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
There is one person who you are convinced is definitely either a thief or at the best maybe in cahoots with the definitely not a smuggler man that you spoke to yesterday. Who mentioned that when spending time in the sewers in that general vicinity, they could often hear strange noises coming from the general direction of the hidden temple. And these noises included some sort of chanting in a language they didn't understand, and the occasional scream.
Cool. And I think that's exactly what we heard from the smuggle guy too, didn't we?
Pretty much, yeah.
Like he thought it's basically that, yeah.
So just sort of most of the same stuff, just sort of padding out more of the rumors that you've heard, or at least you're hearing it from a secondary source now. So you're feeling like, okay, this guy obviously wasn't pulling a leg.
Yeah. I'm hearing it from the horse's mouth, as it were.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. Even if this is the horse that told that guy, but still,
Yeah.
double verification means it's true. One other thing I wanted to add, and I'm happy to, I don't know, obviously I'm happy to do this, but one of the other things I wanted to do was to anyone who asks about it or takes an interest, says a Sigmar's blessing to me, does a comment or anything, just acknowledges that, has a bit more religious connection with me.
Yeah.
I wanted to encourage them to come to the Temple of Sigmar tonight.
Okay.
And explain to them that I will pay for their passage to cross the river.
Sure.
Now I haven't done that yet, but I was gonna tell them to go to a particular dock.
Yep.
And then when I go back, I'm gonna go to that dock and I'm gonna find a ferryman at that dock and I'm gonna pay that ferryman a chunk of money to be like, right, ferry everyone from here who says they're going to the Temple of Sigmar.
All right.
Here's the money for that.
Sounds good. Cool. You get a few people who definitely seem interested in that, and they're yeah, definitely, yeah. We'll we'll go definitely.
Yeah, it's and I said I think it will be good for the souls of the empire, good for the soul of the city, and we can all gather as one. And I hope to be there tonight as well. But if not, then you can look for this person, and I give them the name of the lay priest.
Yep.
Over the course of the day, obviously.
Yep.
Probably maybe early afternoon, I might head back to the boat.
Yep.
But unless anyone else has anything else happen, obviously, or needs to cut away to something else happening.
Cool. So that's, unless any of the rest of you have anything you want to do in particular. I know that Steph, you've gone and bought some healing drafts. Ulrich, you were just waiting on the boat, waiting out for this messenger. I think we're happy to cut back to sort of later in the afternoon now. Everyone has sort of regrouped at the boat.
I'll pay like, I don't know, how much do you think it's going to be to ferry people to get a ferryman to be like, right, this dock, anyone who says they're going to the Temple of Sigmar tonight, ferry them across for free, and I'll pay you the amount. Like, how much do you think I need to pay him to get that done?
Let me see. There is a ferry here, and there is a cost. It is 6 pennies per person.
Okay. I'll just give him a gold.
Yeah, sounds good.
And be like, that's a gold. Anyone who is going to and from the Temple of Sigmar across the river is free until that gold is used up.
Of course, Sigmar's blessings upon you, good sir. I'll make sure of it.
Yeah, you will.
And he makes the symbol of the hammer to you, so you know that he's a devout man.
Yeah, excellent.
Alright, so we're back at the boat. It's later in the afternoon now. And a messenger wearing the livery of Megirius's household arrives. And he hands you a note, sealed with Megirius's seal.
Yep. All right.
And let me get the note and show it you. It is this. All right. Pretty straightforward, I think.
Ooh. Ring as soon as you are able. Mysterious.
Very
By the
mysterious.
time you have looked up from your note, the messenger is gone.
All right.
I'm going to say, Johanna, do you have any etiquette talents?
Unlikely, let's see.
I'll say the same for, actually all of you. Do any of you have any etiquette talents?
God,
think
I
Let's
hope not.
find out.
Is etiquette talents like a group?
Yeah, so it'll be like etiquette cultists or etiquette thieves or anything like that.
Not
Don't
even
think
close.
so. No.
Doesn't look like it.
No? No etiquette skills?
Well,
I don't think. No, I don't either. I thought I might
which
have
is
from being a
fairly
priest.
unsurprising.
I haven't bought one yet. I haven't got one.
Okay, alright. You find it a little odd that the messenger didn't hang around to expect a reply, or as most messengers would probably expect, at least a tip for having left a message, but he disappeared very quickly.
Yep.
I love the idea that it's like some guy's like, and you're just a priest of Sigmar being like, yes, Sigmar's blessing.
Yeah.
So, do you make your way to Megirius's abode?
I mean, we do, right? Is that? Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
Alright. Well, you make your way to the Adol Ring. You've been here a few times now, you know your way around.
We do.
And you've obviously scouted out Megirius's house 2 days prior, so you definitely know where he lives.
Wink,
Yep.
wink.
Wink, wink.
Yes.
So you make your way there. as you arrive, the door is opened by the young messenger that you saw probably, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour ago when he delivered the message to you.
One that gave us the message, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We're here to see Megarius.
Councillor Megarius. Of course, he's expecting you, sir. Please. And he escorts you up to the through the front door, and says, "Just here. He's in his study," and he leads you down a hallway into a room, sort of towards the back of the house.
All right.
And he knocks on the door, and then pushes the door open and motions for you to enter.
All right. Yeah.
All right. You make your way in, and the room appears to be empty. There is
Fuck.
a large oak desk at one end of the room with a heavy wooden chair which appears to be overturned.
Hmm.
Do you
How
investigate?
dim is the room?
Sorry?
How dim is the room?
It's fairly well lit.
Okay, alright.
It's late afternoon, and there's big windows behind where the desk is, so there's light streaming in.
Okay.
Can I smell anything?
Can you smell anything? Make for me, please, a easy perception test.
Sorry, when we go in the door.
Yep.
Where's the messenger still?
He is standing just outside of the room, just at the door.
Okay. Can I just sort of like try to grab him and bring him in with us?
You can certainly try.
Yep.
Before we get to that, though, Johanna, you definitely detect a faint metallic tang on the air.
I will quietly mention this to my compatriots.
As you reach to grab the servant, he sort of steps back and says, "Oh, sir, whatever is the matter?"
I just need to acquire your assistance with something in the room, please.
"Certainly, sir." And he steps into the room, but still
Yep.
remains behind you.
Yeah, I'm sort of like gesturing and wanting to kind of stand at the door and kind of invite him past me.
Sure. He enters into the room. He doesn't
Right.
close the door behind him, he leaves it open, but he enters
No,
into the
no.
room.
Yeah, and so I want to try and position myself behind him, I guess,
Sure.
if I can, just subtly, just like next to him, but ever so slightly behind, if possible. Where is Megarius?
He was here not a moment ago, sir. He left me... Well, let me rephrase that, sir. When I heard the knock at the door, I came to the study to speak to Megarius. He said that I should go and answer the door as he was expecting you, and so I left him. He was here not moments ago, sir.
Megarius! I'll just call out loudly.
There is no reply.
I'm
So is
gonna
this,
walk around near to the chair.
Alright,
I'm gonna clutch my axe very closely.
okay. As you round the desk, Johanna, you find the body of Friedrich Megarius. His throat cut open, and a widening pool of blood
Buggery.
seeping into the carpet around him.
He's dead.
Dead how? How dead? Dead asleep, lassie.
Throat cut. Dead.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Steph, with the perception tests from earlier, although there was smell, I'll get you to make a fresh one now that you're like using your eyes, your other senses.
Yep. Difficulty?
This will be challenging. Oh dear.
I am overwhelmed by the smell of blood.
Okay. Has anyone else rounded the desk now that you've called out that Megarius is dead?
I will run behind it
Cool.
as soon as she
I'm-
says. Yeah.
I'm gonna just round on the servant.
Nice.
Basically, at the moment, I'm not gonna even look. I'm gonna. Johanna's not gonna make that up. I'm just gonna spin round to the servant and go, "What is the meaning of this?"
We'll come back to that.
Yeah,
Alright. Can you make
Sure we will.
Can you make for me, please, a challenging perception test?
Sorry, me.
Yes, you.
Oh no.
Couldn't be.
Uh,
Then who?
That's one of my worst skills. Challenging perception.
Nice.
Oh.
That's all I needed
Marginal,
was for you to
marginal.
pass. You
Yeah.
find, drying on the side of the desk, a message written in McGeary's own blood, which he has tried to scroll as his blood was
That's
dying.
hardcore.
Oh.
You see,
Fucking metal.
this is the thing, right? You can't read, which is
I
hilarious.
was going to say, he can't read.
You
Can
can't
I?
read at all.
Can I like?
I can
Can I
read.
bump?
Yeah.
Can I bump someone's shoulder and be like, and just point as best I can?
Cool.
I will read it.
Gehenna can read, so you see the
I
following,
can.
Gehenna. The following letters: WHSE, and then the number 1, followed by a digit that sort of trails off as his life essence has faded, and it could be a 3 or a 7. You're not sure.
It's one of the warehouses.
Which one?
13 or maybe 17. Which
You
one
got
were
that from
we
that?
outside? I've been around the docks a lot with people who scrawl things that I don't necessarily understand.
That sounds like the docks, alright.
Now,
Everyone's
which
scrolling
warehouse
stuff.
was I outside when I was chatting to my new best friend?
You don't remember what the number was. You just know that it was owned by Franz Steinhager.
Yeah. Well, I think we should go and look at both of them. I think that's the location of this ritual.
So hang on, what did it say again? It was...
W.
I don't know.
WHSE.
I don't know yet. Yeah.
Then-
maybe
then a-
13 or 17.
Yeah, then a 1 and what could be a 3 or a 7. You're not sure. All right.
I haven't seen that yet, and you haven't told me that.
No. All right. So no issues there. Right.
I have a feeling there might be issues.
Yeah, fairly major issues there.
So
But some issues here.
you have rounded on the servant.
Yeah.
As you have rounded on him, you hear from elsewhere in the house the servant's voice, the servant who is in front of you, but his mouth isn't moving, crying out, "Help! Help! Murder!" from the front
for
door.
fuck's sake.
I'm gonna swing my hammer at this, whatever it is in front of me.
Sure. It sort of discombobulates, is the word I'm gonna use, and then reappears at the door a good few feet away from you and says, "You know, you really should have minded your own business."
Oh, it's one of those motherfuckers.
And then it disappears.
Okay, where do the windows face out to?
The window behind you faces out into the back garden of the house.
Cool. I'm gonna open that window. Let's jump out. Let's go before we get done for murder. I'm not going back to prison yet.
I like that plan.
And as you're sort of looking at the window and this body has disappeared, there is the sound of mocking laughter in various different pitches as it sort of fades out.
Okay, cool. That can also be solved by going out the window.
Cool. Okay.
Yep.
Out the window you go. It's
Out
a
the window.
fairly easy sort of bolt and hit and sort of swing out window. So it takes you no time at all to release the catch and swing the window open so you can exit. Do you want to try and push the window back too so it makes it less obvious that that's the way you've gone?
Absolutely.
Cool. You take a moment to reset the window as best you can from outside so it doesn't look like you've gone out that way.
That we've defenestrated.
That will... You've not been thrown out, you've climbed out. That's the difference.
Or... Pre-fenestrated? I don't know.
Proto-fenestrated.
Fenestrated.
Yeah, just
Auto-fenestrated.
That's what
auto-fenestration.
I'm looking for.
There it
Thank
is.
you.
There it is.
Auto-fenestration. That must be the correct
surely that's the correct-
conjugation of that verb.
That's
Yeah,
surely correct.
auto-fenestration.
All right.
Good. Glad
So,
we sorted that out.
You, as you're climbing out the window, you can hear the sounds of heavy tread as guards come running.
He had guards. Yeah,
Come
I remember that. Yeah.
running down the path from the gate and heading towards the front door.
Haha. We have bamboozled them. Let's get the fuck out.
All right, you are going to need to do. So we're not. I'm not going to make you do initiative, but we're kind of going to play this out almost as if it's in rounds.
Cool, cool.
So we're going to do a pursuit event. You've got to try and get out of this property without getting caught.
Cool.
Okay.
And as you have the upper hand, I will allow you guys to go first. So you are now in the garden.
So was the ground floor window?
It was a ground floor window. Yeah, you weren't upstairs.
Oh,
you were
cool. Okay.
ground floor
Okay.
window.
Yeah.
He's
So-
got a lovely ground floor.
You have
floor office,
climbed
don't
out and sort of climbed into a garden bed that was outside the window.
Yep.
It's a relatively large garden, and you can see that there is obviously 3 walls on either side. The walls on your left and right lead to other properties. The rear wall leads out of the Adel Ring and into the town proper.
And there's no gate in the rear walls. There's only the one gate, isn't there?
That is correct. The gate was at the front.
But there's also a grate at the front, inside the gate.
Yes.
Or is not?
I don't think so. It's just a gate.
No, okay.
All right. So the wall surrounding the house, at a quick glance, looks to be about 10 foot high and doesn't look to have very much in the way of handholds to enable you to make a quick exit over it.
Yep.
However, with the knowledge that the town guard is coming in through the front of the house, looks like it might be your best option.
Alright. Are there any trees near the wall?
Sadly, there are not. The best that there is a low hedge, which will only take about a foot off of your climb.
Well, looks like we're clambering. Do I have any rope?
I don't want to make a mockery of me small stature, but can one of you throw me?
Do my best.
Alright.
As you are doing this, you can hear the watch enter the property, and they start doing a room-by-room search.
Okay, let's do it if we're gonna do it.
No time, come on.
Now, the
Go,
question,
go, go.
Yeah, okay.
the
okay.
question I ask you is, are you making a direct beeline direct from the back window to the wall, or are you going to try and get out of line of sight from...
I would say probably out of line of sight, because
Cool.
this might take
As much
a
as
couple
possible.
Of tries.
Yeah, I guess going immediately right, is there like more windows, or is there a room with windows, a blank space of wall kind of thing?
No, so there are more windows on the room that backs onto that side of the house. Probably your best bet, if you're trying to avoid windows, would be to go left and maybe aim for the corner.
All right. Well, I guess that's what we do.
Cool. All right. You can hear the watch party behind you scrabbling around, looking under tables and behind settees and whatnot. The first of you who makes it to the wall, I'm going to say Johanna. I will need you to make for me, please, a difficult climb test.
Alright. Come on.
Can I try and give you a boost?
Can you give her a boost?
Well,
You can.
Yep.
It would be an assist, which I think just adds plus 10, but I'll double check that before I forget how assist works. Tests, assistance. Do you have an advance in climb?
me?
Yes, you.
No.
Then no, you cannot do an assist.
Okay.
To do an assist, you must have at least one advance in the skill.
Right.
Alright, so Johanna, That's unfortunate.
I do not climb.
Roll for me, please, a D100. 59.
So get this. Apparently, I have exactly 1 advance in climb.
Nice.
What?
I don't know why, but I have 1 in climb, 1 in athletics. And I must have had 1 in gossip and 1 in haggle at some point. That's not advances.
Johanna, you will have a neg 10 penalty to your next action, which unfortunately is
Yeah.
looking like it's going to be another climb test. Which
Alright,
is
let's
not gonna
try and
be-
get someone else over.
So, who would like to
at
go
least.
next?
Let's make it me, lads.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, okay.
So, difficult climb test.
I'm just trying to see if I've got any talents that might help me here as well. But they're all to do with hitting things, so probably not. Okay. Oh,
Nice.
my firm dwarven fingers are used to the smooth rock of
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? Your calloused fingers find purchases where the 2 Umis, they've got soft, delicate, humy hands. They don't know how to climb a wall.
pathetic Umgak. Iron is no match for these raw hands.
So, with a little bit of scrabbling, you manage to successfully make it to the top of the wall. I will now.
While he's scrabbling,
Mhm.
I want to kind of like creep along to the edge of the house and see if I can get a view of the gate.
Yeah, sure thing. Make for me an average perception test. Nice. Shame you didn't have that for a climb test.
Maybe I should have just climbed the wall.
Okay, you can see that there is another sort of patrol of town watch standing at the gate.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to say that you can now, whilst you're where you are standard, wow, let me try that again, but with words that make sense in any language. Where you are standing, Wolfgang, being that
Yep.
you're at the rear corner of the house, you can
Yep.
hear more clearly where the town watch are.
Yep.
Some of them have made their way upstairs and are now searching some of the upstairs rooms.
Yeah.
Others still appear to be pouring through some of the rear rooms of the house.
Yeah.
As you are not by the wall, I'm going to say as Johanna is up again to try and climb up the wall. Ulrich, you may provide her with assistance because you do in fact have
Please provide me.
One
advance in climb.
For some reason.
So, Steph, that will now become a flat challenging test.
Okay.
Alright, lads, give us a hand. Come on.
Yes!
Excellent. You make it up onto the
Victory!
wall.
Alright, I'm going to race over after Johanna and have a go.
Can
Great.
we both assist?
No. Do you have any advances in climb, Johanna?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, so no, you can't assist.
No, but the dwarf can.
The dwarf can assist.
Amazing.
So that'll be, a challenging climb test. Very
Hey,
nice.
Look at that.
We're so good at climbing.
As you make it to the
Oh.
top of the wall, with the assistance of
Yeah.
your fellows,
Yeah.
you hear from inside the house, "Quick, the garden! They're escaping!"
Let's
and-
fucking go!
The watch start heading. Those who are upstairs, you can hear them start running down the hallway to head towards where the stairs are. Those who are
Yeah.
downstairs are making their way to the back door. Right, now that you're on top of the wall, you can see that it is a 3-yard drop to the floor below.
Flip.
You may attempt to make a jump test, or you can do the old hang down by your fingertips and drop the distance, which will reduce it to 1 yard for those who are medium-sized.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm a bitch.
Sorry, bud.
The drop sounds good.
Yeah, the drops. But from the wall, what else can we see? What are there other near yards? Are there other near buildings?
Yeah, so the property is flanked on either side by other merchant townhouses with gardens.
Yep. Yep.
On the other side of the wall, there is just a street that you'd actually be probably relatively familiar with. You're sort of about here-ish on the map.
Sorry,
So
going to ping again. I missed it.
about here-ish, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So, not too far away from where the sort of temple district was.
Yeah.
So there's like a row of houses, and then you can sort of see the tops of the temples behind that.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'll drop down. Or, like, hang down and then.
Cool.
Think is the answer.
So I don't think that's going to be much of a fall test, because if you're doing a drop, let me have a look. I think a yard is not exactly going to be much in the way of
Wouldn't have thought so.
falling.
I thought it was like every 3 yards or something.
I thought it was as well, but I'm going to double check.
I don't know whether I'm sort of thinking in Lord of the Rings terms in terms of inches fallen and shit like that.
Oh, alright, so when falling...
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So if you're falling because you have stumbled and fell, it is 1d10 plus 3 damage for every yard you fall.
Okay.
Reduced by your toughness bonus, but not armor. However, if you are purposefully falling, or as it says here, if you prefer jumping downwards, you can instead
Jumping
make an
downwards.
average athletics test.
Cool.
If you succeed, you count as having fallen 1 less yard. So really, if you roll,
If we succeed, we haven't.
if you
fallen,
succeed, you
basically.
haven't
We've-
fallen. You've landed on your feet and you're fine.
Yeah.
So an average athletics test. Nice, not a problem.
Right.
Johanna,
I do a fucking flip.
you really do a fucking flip. Wow, you sort of do a backflip and land, superhero
Yes,
style,
superhero
3-point landing,
I fucking stick the landing.
and then you catch your hat, which is sort of drifting down, and put it on your head afterwards. Like,
Yes.
That's it. Yeah.
So, given my slightly shorter frame,
you're gonna need to pass this by 2 success levels to not take any damage.
right? Okay.
That's right.
And if I fail, I just take.
You-
How much is it? It's 1d10
1d10 plus 3 damage for every yard that you fall.
I've got 5 toughness. That's gonna
You
tank
should be
it,
fine.
right?
This should be fine.
Fuck it. It should be fine. It's with that. It's average. You
Yeah,
know,
you should be
average.
fine. You'll
I
be
have,
fine.
look, and I have 1 advance in athletics.
You'll be fine.
There you go. What are you worried about?
Exactly.
Do a
What are you
flip.
worried about?
It's fine. Okay, so you will still take a little bit of damage because you have not quite met the prerequisites, but you will have soaked part of it. So, let me roll 1d10. 3. You take 6 points of damage.
Means I take 1 point of damage.
Cool. Do you take any wounds from this?
Yes. I
Great.
take
You
1
gain
wound.
the prone condition.
Oh.
Let's pick him up and go.
Yeah, I'll help hoik him up and. Yeah.
Cool.
Where can we run from here? What do we see about us?
Well, as I said to Alex, you are. Let me just minimize this so I can see. You are about here-ish now. So there's about a row of houses directly in front of you, and then behind those houses you can see the sort of tall pillars of the Temple of Sigmar and the other various temples in the sort of temple square.
Well, I'm thinking we might want to go to the Temple of Sigma and get that one guy to hide us.
That's it. There's
Let's
also the one
skedaddle.
I've got an idea too.
All right. So you are. Oops, I need to get back to the rules for pursuit. All right. So you are. Cool. You've got a pretty decent lead. So I'm going to say you're about a 4. So can I get all of you please to make for me challenging athletics tests?
Athletics, you say? Just had to be athletics, didn't it?
I'm going to
Oh,
fortune that.
Sure.
I think I
There.
will also fortune mine.
Excellent. That is
Good.
excellent. Good.
Me.
It's not as bad, but it's sure.
I guess
Okay.
Johanna's like taken off, done the flip, started running. I'm left
helping.
there trying to help up Ulrich.
I am going to
helping.
make a roll for a watchman and see what he gets. Do I have athletics? I don't. Why have I not given him athletics? That is based on that.
Oh, what a shame. I guess he can't chase us then.
Yep.
Oh,
He doesn't know shit. Oh, I've forgotten how to run.
cool. Okay, he
Running out with how it works.
as you sort of Johanna sort of quickly starts pushing her way through the busy streets. Wolfgang is sort of assisting with getting Ulrich back up on his feet and sort of getting going, but the sort of as Johanna has sort of ducked through the crowds, a sort of a rush of people has come past, so you're kind of like jostling, trying to get through. You could hear the town watch who had exited the house attempting to climb up over the wall behind you, so they're quite close behind you, and you can also hear, mostly Wolfgang, not Ulrich, that another patrol of watch is running down a side street to try and cut you off.
Okay, cool. I was going to say, like, they're running around the thing. That seems foolish. But yeah.
How much of a look would they have gotten at us?
It would have been only fleeting, because they would have seen you at the top of the wall just as you were about to sort of get down on the other side.
Yeah.
Alright. Guys, unfortunately you have lost some of your lead, so I need you all to roll for me some more challenging athletics tests.
No athletics! What are you doing? Okay, alright, it's fine.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice.
Amazing.
Not so nice, but the two of you have got a couple of 4s there, which is excellent. Let me pull up the old watchman, get him to do an athletics test. Cool. All right, you definitely put a bit of distance. So, dragging Ulrich through the crowd, you guys sort of managed to weave your way through all of the hustle and bustle and cut down an alleyway between two of the houses and make your way into the sort of Temple Square district.
Yeah.
Behind you, a group of guards successfully makes it over over the wall, and it's just landed on the ground. And one of them definitely saw you go this way.
Yep.
The other patrol that you heard running up the side street makes it to the street that you have just exited, and you can hear the guard saying, "They went that way." We're at the start of the next round of pursuit. Things haven't gotten any worse, but they also haven't gotten any better as of yet. So we need to do some more athletic skills. Unless you want to try and hide in amongst the crowd or hide inside a building or something, you might need to put a bit more distance between you before you can truly like duck into a corner and not be seen.
I don't know if hiding is a great idea yet. I think
I'd
there's
like
still not enough
to
distance.
turn my coat inside out and hide my hat under it.
Sure, you can do that. I will allow you to do that as a free action. That's fine.
Thank you.
I think we just have to rush, because if we get caught, I can start calling out for people to help.
Yeah.
Well, use
Alright.
some of my
So
influence.
it is another challenging athletics test from the lot of you, please.
Fine, it's fine. Well, look. It's
Oh dear.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh dear. Oh
Damn
dear.
it.
Oh dear. Oh
Yes.
dear. Oh dear.
Get tangled in my coat as I'm putting it back on.
Yep.
Well, the guards have to roll too.
The guards do have to roll as well.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Okay. The distance doesn't get any closer. It doesn't get any further apart. Yeah, I think
Mind you, two of us crit
two
failed.
of you did
so-
crit fail. So let's see. I think. Let me just think how the best way of you doing this. Ulrich, Wolfgang. I think what you do is you just turn a corner too quickly and just catch a loose flagstone or an upraised flagstone, and you just go down like a sack of shit.
Would've.
With a big bang and a clatter, because obviously you're wearing
Yeah.
plate mail.
Yeah, I'm
and
wearing
whatnot.
my armor. Yeah.
So, and a lot of people like step out of your way, and people are sort of muttering and shaking of their heads and shaking fists at you and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, really making it obvious that you're there. And then,
Oh, I've made a big scene. Oh yeah.
and then Ulrich, who was running behind you, then trips over you.
Nice. Yeah.
And then gets up and starts cursing at you. And not only has there now been a bit of a parting of the crowd, his big bright orange mohawk is a nice sort of banner pole that the rest of you anyone can see.
Yeah, it's nice and subtle. Yeah.
Nice and subtle. So, fortunately, however, the guards have also sort of been caught up in the sort of general foot traffic, but they know where you are.
Yeah.
We need to move.
So, you need to make some more challenging athletics tests, please.
Oh, good.
Is there a way? I'm just wondering if there's a way I could move people in the way of us, just to like just really stop them from making more progress.
Got any money in your pockets? That's
I
kind of
do.
metagaming, but
No, but I could just huck
chuck
down a
some
bunch of
money.
pennies, and then the ding ding ding. Oh no, then everyone would bend over.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah, never mind. Alright, alright. Challenging athletics. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Easy money, right? Easy money.
I am not convinced. Whips.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's only marginal, right?
Okay, let's see what the town watch do.
I'm just rolling around on the floor like an idiot.
Like an upturned turn.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
well, that's better.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
You start putting a
Oh,
bit of
that's good.
distance between them. They're getting really caught up in.
They all tried
the
to climb with their halberds and they like landed and jarred, tripping over each other,
Yeah,
and they're like trying to.
they're
No,
really-
that's my halberd. No, that's my spear. Oh no, hang on, give that back here. That's not.
Exactly. Yeah.
Some guy
They're doing like the
stopped them and is
full
like,
Three Stooges.
have you heard the good word of Slanesh lately? Out of the way.
All
You
right. So
fucking what?
you have put a bit more distance. Sorry, between
I know
yourself
what the
and
good
them.
word of Siege is. It's. Sorry, carry on.
So you've put a bit more distance between yourself and the town watch. They seem to be sort of caught up in the crowd as you sort of manage to scurry away. Now that you've put a bit more distance, you could potentially try and duck down an alleyway or duck into a building or convince someone to try and delay the town guard now that there's a little bit more distance between you. So, if you can think of a different type of test that you would like to attempt, other than an athletics test, I will allow you to do so.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I'm just desperately looking at my skills and I'm like, how can horse help me here?
I mean, you could find a horse and ride it away.
No, because I'd have to find a pony.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Let's see. Consume alcohol, I don't think can help me in this situation. I mean, like it can, but it can't.
I'd love if I could, because we're in. Are we in a crowd right now? Or
Yeah,
are we
it's pretty busy.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I can. I wonder if I can like start a or like start a ruckus or start a fight or something between two other people, such that people start crowding around them. If that makes sense, and then it like blocks the way because everyone's like, "Oi, don't block my line of sight for this fight, you know?
Yep.
But I don't know if it'd
No
be big
one's
enough
yelled
to...
at us. They haven't like yelled "stop police" or anything, or the equivalent.
Yeah, so we should
Hmm.
probably try and. How far are we from the Temple of Sigma?
I would say you're, I don't know, maybe 10 to 15 yards away. Not very far. A short
Probably just
dash.
get in there, to be honest. That's probably our best bet.
And then we can Assassin's Creed our way. Just with our
Yeah,
heads
exactly.
I was sort of thinking that, yeah.
down. Yeah.
That's probably our best bet.
What time of day is it, Ben?
It is quite late in the afternoon.
Okay.
I think if we just hide in there, it's probably a good idea.
I think
Yeah.
that's going to be our best bet. If we try to do
Yeah.
anything too fancy,
Hmm.
it's not gonna.
Oh, if we've still got to make it there, that's why I'm just worried that we're gonna like keep tripping over.
Well, like hopefully they will as well. I guess.
Yeah.
Do you reckon if we just calmly started walking instead of running?
Well, the thing is, if we walk calmly, it should be all right.
It's just getting through all the people. Nah, I tell you what, let's just keep running, making a break for it, because the worst that'll happen is they will slowly catch up. But then once we're in the temple, we can definitely...
Yeah, it's
Move
true.
a bit more
At the
freely.
temple, I can start the I can try and trigger the like massive.
Yeah.
I can trigger the kind of the lynch mob basically.
Yeah.
And try and whip people up in a frenzy once I'm there.
Alright, well, in that case then, I require some more challenging athletics tests.
Oh, I hope this is a good decision.
Don't worry. I'll pass flying colours. Son of a bitch.
Strong.
Mm-hmm. Good start.
Do I have any? I might want a point.
Okay. Do
No,
you want
that's
to wait
alright,
and
I'm
see
still
what
ahead.
the town watch does first, or do you want to...
Yeah, I want to see what the town watch does first.
Okay.
At least one of us can walk.
Yeah.
This
Ooh.
time.
Cool.
Ooh!
Fortunately,
You'll love to see it.
you manage to dash the short distance and quickly enter into the Temple of Sigmar in the midst of another group of various, worshippers.
Yeah.
And the town guard are caught up in their the crowd and fail to see you enter. Nicely done.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Just.
All right. So you're now in the Temple of Sigmar. You're starting to lose daylight. You know that this ritual is meant to take place tonight, and you know that it's taking place in... I'm assuming Gehenna has now passed on this information about Warehouse
absolutely.
13
Oh, you told
and
me that.
or
Okay.
17.
Definitely.
So you will want to try and get to the warehouse district, or I say the warehouse district, the opposite side of the river, which is where the warehouses are.
Yeah.
Mm.
13 or 17. Should put that in my notes.
I've got the letter that he gave me last night.
Yep.
Right. I'm going to basically, so we've got in the door, people there, there's people in the temple.
Yep.
I'm going to start trying to make a speech.
Okay. Do you have a public speaker?
I've got entertained speeches.
Okay.
Make them laugh.
Is
all
public
right.
speaker a talent?
Public speaker is a talent, yes.
Yeah, right. No, I do not. I have public speeches. I have speeches. I have entertain and then speech as a specific skill
Okay.
with advances in it. Like it's a like
All right. What's your fellowship bonus?
it is 5.
5. Cool. So you can probably, even with no skills in public speaking,
Yep.
you could probably rouse a crowd of about 50 people, I would say,
Yeah.
with your
Yeah.
speeches. Make for me then an average entertained speeches
Yep.
test.
Yep.
Nice.
Right.
So, make a speech.
Yeah. Brothers, children of Sigmar, children of the Empire, please, I beseech thee, listen. I have come hither on 3 nights, 3 times. And many of you have met you, and I've talked with you, and I've shared my concerns. But I now have proof, and I'm going to brandish the letter. I'm going to have it unfurled. I'm not going to give anyone to read it. Just like dude that hammered the thing on the door of the church in Germany style. But
Martin
just kind of
Luther?
like that's the one. Yeah. I'm thinking MLK.
Yeah.
But no.
The
Different,
other
but no.
Martin Luther.
Yeah, the other Martin, the first one, the OG.
The OG Martin Luther. That's the one, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I beseech thee listen, as I tell you a horrible tale of the dark enemy, a cult of the evil gods, has roused itself. It has snuck in with lies, with promises of fortune brought in by these merchants. It has come here with evil intent, and it has been nursed in the hearts of many that you leaders, indeed councillors and merchant leaders. Even your compatriots may be swayed by this. Some of you have taken up arms and taken up shepherding the flock. This was at my caution, and I'm sure many of you have felt the presence, felt some fell thing watching you. And I am certain, as one who has been spent time in the crystal maze, as in a curse, that it is the work of chaos. I urge you, light your torches to seek out those foul witches that cast their dark magics. Take up your hammers, take up your swords, take up your axes, and go to the streets. For none of those that rule this town can be trusted any longer. There is a presence happening, and it shall be happening at the warehouses of blah blah blah. I keep forgetting the guy's name.
Steinhager?
Steinhager.
I mean, if that's his warehouses
It is, yeah.
that we know of.
It is happening. There are those. Yeah, it is. It is the
13
warehouses of
and
Steinhager. It is the. Where was the councillor Teugen, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes, it is the councillor Teugen, who draws about him a cloak of darkness and befuddlement. I think he lies at the centre of this web. It is the Brotherhood of Septenarius. All of these things, they have tricked us with lies, and now one of their kind lies dead. Dead, for he sought to bring me the truth. This letter I hold here, and I sort of branch it again around closer to the people I'm gathering in. Take up your arms, take up your faith. Spread the word amongst the good folk of this town and of the Empire, so that we may purify it again in Sigmar's rage.
Nice.
Alright, well, you get your crowd relatively incensed.
Good.
Do you then attempt to lead them out into the street and in the direction of the warehouse?
I tell them to go. I tell them to make haste, to take to the streets, arm your countrymen, arm your folk, shepherd your flocks, but take them with you, take up arms, seek out Teugen and the councillors, seek out the merchant and the warehouses, and prove that they are pure.
13 and 17.
So I want to send them out. I don't want to bring them with me. I want to send them out so that they cause a scene, and it means it's easier for us to get to the west.
Because we can go with them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alright, well...
Basically, I want to fill the streets with religious fervour to try and counteract chaos.
Yep.
Or any chaos cultists that pop their heads up. and also give us a bit of a distraction.
Sounds good.
You know,
So,
makes it harder to track us down if there's a shit ton of people running around the streets being like, ah!
all right. Well, they all start heading out in a sort of angry wave of religious fervor. And after a couple of minutes, you quietly make your way out.
That's it.
And you start heading towards the docks, as you know that you need to get to the other side of the river.
That's right.
I assume you're avoiding the main thoroughfares. You're taking back streets and whatnot. You're trying to be surreptitious.
I think so, presumably, guys.
Yeah.
All right. So you.
I mean, it depends on how busy the streets are, but like,
Yeah.
I'd probably be going speed over subtlety.
Yeah.
I mean, the streets at this time of the day, like the streets are still relatively busy. Like they're starting to thin out a bit because it is getting closer and closer towards sort of late afternoon, sort of early evening. It's not quite sunset yet, but it's fast approaching. So it just depends on whether or not
it's whether my crowd is gathering more crowd, right? Because I mean, the crowd of people I was gathering were mainly priests. So I hope they might start getting people up in arms. I know it takes time, and it's not just like instant.
All right.
I might have wanted to wait until they started causing a bit of a ruckus, I guess.
So okay. So you wait until you start hearing a bit of a hue and cry coming from outdoors.
Try and get them to start ringing the bell at the Temple of Sigma.
Sure. So you hear, as I said, a bit of a hue and cry coming from outside the temple.
Yeah.
And would one of you look out one of the windows, please? One of the northward-facing windows.
What difficulty of perception do we need to do? Or is it just
none. I just need you to look out the window.
Oh yeah,
right,
fine.
sure,
Yeah.
As one of you looks out the window, I don't really care who it is. You can see that there is blaze in the city deeper down, probably somewhere out in this region over here.
Oh, damn.
Blaze.
Yeah, it looks like a house has been set on fire.
What?
Oh, I think I know whose house it might be.
Let's go. Let's go quickly.
Yeah, let's go find out.
All right, so you make your way out of the temple. You're aiming to get to the dock over here.
Correct. Yep.
And you are presently here. That didn't ping. Here. There we go.
Yep.
All right. So, are you going to try and be somewhat stealthy and stick to back streets, or are you going to just sort of do your best to opt for speed rather than subtlety?
I think speed rather than subtlety.
Because
Alright.
they won't be looking for us specifically.
Okay, so you make your way basically down this main sort of strasse here, and as you marching as quickly but as without trying to draw attention to yourself as possible.
Yeah.
You you hear a group of people approaching, coming from down one of the side streets, and you, Wolfgang, run almost headlong into a man who looks exactly like you.
What the fuck?
Whoa.
And he then sort of looks over his shoulder, and as you sort of look past him, you can see that there is an angry mob chasing him.
Yeah.
And he, as you sort of look past his shoulder, he brushes past you and disappears down an alley. You don't see which one. He's too quick.
What?
Uh-oh.
And the mob starts, points at you, Wolfgang, and goes, "Stop! Fire razors! String them up!" And they start chasing after you. Guess what, guys? It's another pursuit.
Oh,
What?
no.
Ooh.
Time to run. You're being chased by an angry mob now, not cultists.
Oh,
Sorry, not watchmen.
I don't like that you said cultists. 'cause
Yeah,
that
sorry, that
implies-
was a slip of the tongue
that implies the existence of cultists right there.
there. No, perish
A
the thought.
Freudian slip.
A
Hmm.
Freudian cultist.
All right, I'm going to say that you guys have not the biggest lead at this point. The mob wasn't that far behind the guy, the mysterious doppelganger. So, I'm afraid it's time for some more challenging athletics tests.
Is it possible
To go fuck myself?
instead of immediately running, to attempt to intimidate some of them to back the fuck down while we make a bit of distance?
Sure, if you want to make an intimidation check, by all means.
Hell yeah.
It will still be challenging.
Yeah. But it also won't be 28. Here we go. Here we go. Oh!
That is so unfortunate.
Fate
Let's
is
see.
cruel mistress.
Oh, well, they've just rolled a crit fail, so that's... Like, it doesn't scare them.
I'm gonna basically like, yeah, I'm gonna try and, because I'm gonna reckon I'm not gonna. This is insane. Like, I think if I run, it will trigger more. I'm like, no. There's more shit going. I'm gonna go with a bellowing prayer of righteousness, or whatever, beacon of righteous virtue.
Okay, yep.
Cool.
Nice. What does
So-
the beacon of righteous virtue do again?
So I will bellow prayers in Sigmar's name. I become all allies with life containing broken conditions gain the fearless trait while the mirror is in effect, and they remain in my line of sight. Any greenskins are subject to fear 1. Not that I think there are any greenskins
Sadly
in this
not.
crowd, but I guess I'm doing that to sort of show my purity, I guess, and bellowing in Sigmar's name about the true enemy of chaos now even tries to trick us with these deceptions and these lies. And they've been hunting us for years, and now they come and try and even turn you against us. And how, I'm here to, I'm not the one who's wronged you. We are here to put an end to this.
Okay.
Would I stand and face you now after running? Would I look in my accuser's face like this if I was the one who had caused you so much harm? I guess kind of meant as a sort of intimidate as well, but yeah.
Yeah, I think seeing as you pass that, and as I said, they did crit fail, they will sort of falter a little bit in their step. Johanna, what are you doing out of curiosity? Are you just legging it, or are you standing around?
No, I'm kind of standing and being moral support.
Okay.
I don't think me adding anything to this will be helpful.
Okay. Alright. So just poised
Just
and ready.
standing there like we're not running away, so that's gonna confuse them.
Alright. Well, you don't gain any ground on them, but you also don't lose any ground to them. They are somewhat wary. They're a little bit confused, but they haven't completely backed off either. So it is the
Let's
start
do
of
another round.
another pursuit round. What would you like to do?
I'm going to try and yell at them again as sort of speech, again trying to deny that we're the ones they're chasing.
Yep.
And say that it's more foul magic of chaos. I come from the temple of Sigmar. I'm blessed and holy. I've come to deliver you from the evil that's been lurking here. Come with us now to attack the warehouse and put an end to this horrible, profane ritual that's about to happen.
Alright, can you make for me, please, a challenging leadership test?
Cool.
And if any of them try to attack him while he's making this speech, I will try to fucking huck them to the ground.
Oh, that is so close.
Can
Alright.
I'm out of fortune. I don't have anything.
Let's see.
Can I be like, yeah, you better watch out, or like,
Do
there's an
you-
Come
old,
clicking
out
there's
of
the
an old
shadows.
reference for you.
Do you have any skills? Advances in leadership, Steph?
I think I actually might. Let me check.
Can you hear the angry song?
Yes.
You do?
I have 8 of them.
Wow.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
In which case, you get plus
Oh.
10 on that, Alex, which means that you actually would have succeeded.
Nice.
They
yeah,
failed.
you better watch out.
I figured it's some kind of more Chilean style, or like Chilean cultural appropriation of French Revolution.
Yes.
Chilean,
Lame is,
hype
lame
man.
is, yeah.
If someone yells, yes, believe what he says in a fake Warhammer Spanish accent, then, you're gonna give it some thought.
Yeah. I
Like-
will not be doing that.
She makes a good point, that's a good accent. Stallion. That's right.
Estelia is Spain and Chilea is Italy.
Yeah,
I'm sure they used to spell it with a Y, and it's just literally
That's
literally
delightful.
just Italy, but like
Italy.
no.
Yeetily.
Yit- Yeah, I forgot I had just a fuck ton of leadership. Too bad my boys are lost in a maze.
Rip.
Rip.
The rippest,
Yeah.
rips reps relations.
All right. So the crowd now starts sort of. They've come to a full standstill now, and they are sort of all looking at each other and muttering like, "Yeah, he raises a good point. There's definitely stuff going on." And then one of them pipes up, "But we saw him light a fire down by the old cutler's shop." And
Have you put it out? Are there people to help? Say in immediate response to that.
there's members of the town watch attempting to put out the fire.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear it. As I said, I am Brother Vigmar, and I'm here to put a stop to this wickedness that is occurring here.
Right. Well, he wouldn't be so concerned. He wouldn't be concerned about the fire if it had been him that lit it. And the mutterings continues. I'm going to say that you're not being. You're still in a pursuit scenario, but by dint of your success there, you have technically gained ground.
Yeah.
On your pursuit, despite the fact that you're
Morally.
not actually moving.
Yeah.
Metaphysically.
We'll say it is now the next round of this pursuit. What would you like to do? More of the same to try and convince them of your
Yeah,
Your
pretty much.
righteousness?
Just like, yeah, exactly.
I'm going to say another challenging leadership test then, please.
Yeah.
I'll back you up.
Cool. We have plus 10. Oh,
Oh!
the big crit.
Ruins my
start to
crit though,
glow.
technically. Ruins my crit technically because the plus 10 makes that not a crit.
Well, then I won't help you. You're doing fine
You're
on
doing
your
fine
own.
on your
I
own.
can see that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep that crit.
Yeah.
All right. The crowd now starts, seeing your fervor, and some
I'm
of
gonna
them.
take out the letter again and try and like do the
Nice.
similar speech to what I said in the church.
Yeah. Okay.
And be like, it's these people, it's Toygan, it's this merchant, they're lying to you all, they're trying to betray you.
Yeah.
They're doing this, and we're going to the warehouses now, where they're going to try and enact a profane ritual that they said would bring wealth, but it's actually going to bring nothing but death. And here is the letter with proof that they come from a cult, that they've been insidiously breeding and like falling into the crowd. Remember your friends who have died. Remember the strange disappearances. Remember the bodies in the sewers. They are all related. They are all linked together.
Right, so we start seeing there's a few faces dotted amongst the crowd who are now the fire's in their eye. They're catching on to what you're laying out.
Yeah.
And they're starting to mutter, yeah, what he said. There's definitely something going on, and they're starting to, elbow their comrades in the arm, in the ribs. Be like, go on, we should listen to this guy. He knows what he's about. I would say probably about half of the mob dissipates. They have lost the momentum, and they're like, oh, all right, this is clearly going nowhere, and they all dissipate. But you've definitely hooked, I would say, the other half of the mob.
Right.
They want to know what they're interested in what you're saying. They've seen the going on in the town. They get what's happening, so they're intrigued. So you whip them up into a fervor, and you send them out into the town as you have done with your previous.
That's it. I said,
flock.
get friends, get your relatives, look for the and watch, and I warn them to watch for those wearing the stolen faces of whatever the fuck that is. I don't know what's going on with that. But I tell them to watch out for that. But yeah, to be cautious, believe in each other, believe in the Empire, but that these cultists in these places are evil and wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we should light fires to them. Like, don't start setting fires. But I'm like, go and demand answers from all the merchants. Go and demand answers from council house. And if any of you feel ready to take up, cross the river with us and meet us at the warehouse.
All right. Also, with that, the mob disperses.
Yep.
And you are no longer in a pursuit.
Wolfgang MVP.
Wolfgang is just like
Wow.
talking his way out of problems.
Holy shit. The might of Sigmar is undeniable.
All
That's
right.
it.
Well,
It's like military social role.
yeah.
It's kind of it's
This is taking me back to my guild officer days, and I don't like it.
We'll jump forward slightly in time.
Yep.
You have successfully managed to avoid patrols of the watch,
Aha.
and made your way across the river. You're now in the sort of warehouse, sort of dock region of the town, which is, if I can ever do anything, around here-ish.
Yeah.
It is now sunset. Morsleib is high in the sky and bigger than ever. As the sun finally disappears behind the last of the houses on the western side of town, which is where you are,
Yep.
a green lit mist creeps up from the river, and you can see it visibly thicken before your eyes.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Thicken.
Ugh.
Interesting.
No thanks.
And it
Thicken
comes up.
is
I don't want to
definitely a
see
choice
things
of words.
visibly.
It comes up to
thickening.
probably your knees.
Right.
That
So
doesn't seem good.
you
Yummy.
Nor seasonal.
you will arrive out the front of warehouse 13, and warehouse 17 is about 2 warehouses down.
I was going to say, whichever one it is, I guess. I mean,
Which
fuck, I
one
hope
is the
it, I hope
mist
it's
going
there.
towards?
Like,
Sorry?
Which one is the mist going towards?
Oh, it's just a general mist. It's not heading in any
Okay.
particular direction. It's just
It's
seeping
not
up from the river.
directional. Oh, good.
I'll get you all to make for me average perception tests.
Do I have to?
This
It's
is not
slightly
hearing
low.
based, so you're okay.
Okay. Cool.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh.
Alright. Johanna, you're the only one who clues to this. Warehouse 17 appears to be essentially deserted. You can't see any activity around the warehouse at all. Whereas Warehouse 13 still appears to have sort of signs of activity happening. It's not much, but there is definitely goings on happening at Warehouse 13.
I shall point this out to my compatriots.
Cool. Are any types of crowds turning up, or any of my encouraged people look like they're turning up at all?
Sadly not.
Yeah. What do we want to do?
The other things, sorry, Steph, that Johanna would have noticed is that from where you were sitting, standing, I should say, the sort of merchant house crest that is hanging in front of Warehouse 13, which is the one you're closest to, is that of the Toygans.
Ah, this one belongs to the Toygans.
Alright, well that's a good sign.
Or a bad one.
Yeah. Presumably, Ben, you know when you'll stop us so that Steve doesn't...
Yeah, we're getting
miss
close
out.
to where we're going to stop.
That's what I figured.
So, yeah, we've got a little bit more that we can do before then, but yeah.
Alright.
And I'll probably have to duck out in about 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, I think we've probably got maybe 10, 15 minutes left of stuff that we can do before I need to sort of stop it. So,
Thanks.
all right. So, what would you like to do?
Let's find this fucker. Let's
Yeah, I
run this
mean, I
ritual.
guess we go to the... We go to the door?
Cool.
We go to the warehouse?
All right. As you approach, the activity that you had seen before seems to have quietened down. There is, so it's relatively quiet. The doors are not locked, so you can sort of crack one open and poke your head inside if you wish. Or you can look through the windows, whichever you choose. The windows are all barred, but you can still see in.
I was just gonna open the door.
Yeah, cool. You open the door. There is a large area at the front of the warehouse that has been cleared of any sort of boxes or packaging or crates. But you can see that a bunch of crates have been packed up at the rear of the warehouse. You're more than welcome to go in and have a look, sort of have a poke around.
Is it well lit? Is there anyone in the warehouse?
Doesn't appear to be anyone in the warehouse. Just at a quick glance, you can't hear anyone, and it's relatively well lit at this stage. There's still sort of a bit of a, with the door open, you've got sort of a bit of a eerie green light coming in off of the mist from outside that helps to sort of illuminate the interior. There are some torches, so I would say it's probably verging on dimly lit, but it's clear enough that you could read, a name printed on a crate or anything. It's not going to be too difficult.
Sure. Well, I mean, I guess we'd go and search around more.
Cool. Make for me please some average perception tests. Oh!
Boom.
Boom.
Look at you. You see all.
I perceive
And I see quite a bit.
most.
Come on, Nick. Bring it home.
I'm desperately trying to figure out a way to make this higher. That's all. I don't think there's a way. Okay, come on, man. Hiya.
Hey, bam, bam,
Look
bam,
at
bam,
this.
bam, bam,
Look at
bam.
this.
Wait,
Fucking
hold on.
Batman
I've got to
vision.
press
You
this.
love to see it. You love to
You'll
see
love
it.
Incredible.
to
You
see
do
it.
love to see everything.
What?
Good content. You'll love to see it.
Oh, this is it. This is peak. This is peak Warhammer Fantasy RP.
Incredible, flawless.
It is the sixth
Incredible,
hour.
incredible, flawless.
Oh, amazing.
You'll love to see it.
Oh.
We do.
Incredible, flawless.
All right, that's possibly enough.
You know what I love though is that it's still, it's 5 success levels. Johanna rolled a 27 and also
And
got
also
5 success
got 5
levels.
success
I'm like,
levels.
fuck my life.
Yeah.
I rolled the best roll in the game, and so I'm like, yeah, I'm comparable.
All right.
Amazing.
The
We all got 5 success levels. 2 of us got crits.
yeah.
Oh,
I think
that
we're
was
okay.
I think
beautiful.
you successfully perceive the warehouse.
We
Perceive
open,
what is
we
going on.
perceive the
Yeah.
fuck out of that
we
warehouse.
round the corner, we're like, oh yeah, there it is.
There it is. You have seen the warehouse and you've seen its contents. So you have a look at the crates. Those of you who can read can see that most of the crates are marked with the name Silas Hilbury, and they contain bottled fruit.
Mm.
Yep.
There's not much else going on in this warehouse. It's kind of there's a few cobwebs. There are some stairs to sort of upper landing. You're more than welcome to go and have a poke around up there, but
Yeah.
with your excellent perceptions, it's just more of the same.
Okay.
One of the rooms has a desk with a ledger on it, but were one of you who can read to pour through it, you would just find just accounts of goods in, goods out. Nothing nefarious. It's all very much above board. It appears to be just a warehouse.
Alright, to the other warehouse.
Pretty much.
Okay.
And obviously, presumably with that good a perception, we would have found a hidden thing. I mean, we can't know that, I suppose, if it's impossibly hard, but...
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
It is just a warehouse. Alright, so you make your way to the other warehouse. This one, and I'm going to let your perception test roll over a little bit for this, because it is quite good. There is the family sigil of the merchant house Rugbroda, which, for those interested, it is an ear of corn held in a mailed fist.
I love
Okay.
that.
Cool.
Just
I
really
like it.
fucking love
Now, hang on,
corn.
is corn? Corn?
Yeah, I see where you're going with
Guys.
this. I see where you're going with this.
Guys?
It
Oh,
is
dear.
very, very much the grain.
No,
How horny is the grain though?
yeah. How mailed is the fist?
How mailed is that fist?
Fairly mailed.
All right, so. Are you wanting
Now,
to
hang
go
on, I
on to-
thought weren't we going to go to the? I thought the warehouses of the specific guy that we think is dodgy.
Not
I mean,
necessarily.
They aren't warehouses 13 or 17. These are the numbers that
Okay.
you
Yeah,
saw Megarius was attempting to write in his dying breath.
Okay.
So you're not sure what that means, but
Yeah. Cool. But anyway, we'll try and open the door of this warehouse.
cool.
Yeah.
It is similarly not locked.
Great.
Also,
Also kind of weird, but okay.
I mean, yeah, I guess I don't know. Maybe it's a
Night,
very
you know.
trusting town. I don't know.
I suppose.
Anyway, so you open the door to see this warehouse is packed to the absolute rafters. You could not get in there if you tried.
Interesting.
The
Okay.
crates nearest the door, directly in front of you, have the words Krönen Winzerei Altdorf branded onto the side. And I'm going to say if Leon were with you, which I'm going to boldly assume that Leon is here.
I would have thought so.
Leon pipes up, oh, this is the vine that Joseph brought from Altdorf on the barge. I recognize these crates.
Oh no. Don't
Huh.
tell me Joseph's in with this.
Aye.
But
And
more,
we can't get further into this room.
no,
you're saying?
and more importantly, the warehouse, as I said, it's completely packed. Where are they going to
Yeah.
be doing a ritual if it's chockers in there?
Yeah.
I mean, are we going to have to die trying to climb down into the sewers again?
As you start coming to the conclusion that, is this the
Can
place?
I
I'm not
attempt
sure.
an insight? Let it. Oh yeah, sorry. Yep, go for it. Yep.
A guard, not a town guard, just a guard employed to watch the warehouses, rounds the corner.
Yep. Yep.
He goes, "Oi! What are you doing? Get 'em!" And 2 dogs run at you. And the watchman runs in the other direction, crawling out for the town watch. So, I'm going to get you guys to roll for initiative, please. We will do a very brief combat with some dogs.
I don't want to kill dogs.
I don't know if that worked correctly or not.
I haven't got the initiative tracker up, so that probably doesn't help.
Looks about right, I think.
Yeah.
We will clear that. Clear. I will add some turns for you guys. Because that hasn't worked for whatever reason. I don't know why that hasn't worked. That's alright. I'll if you just okay, cool.
Dragging from your character sheets.
Yeah.
Ah.
There.
Mine's not letting me drag it. It's being dumb.
Wrong direction. One Jahan. No, one Jahan. There you go.
Thanks.
Okay, I need to do initiative for and dog, and then initiative for oops, that is the same dog. Cool, good boys. All right. The one of the dogs will strike at the same time as Wolfgang. It is going to try and attack. I'm going to say it's probably going to attempt to attack Wolfgang. You're probably the closest.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So it's going to attempt to pounce on you. Why can I not see that?
I'll see what.
Did you roll something, Alex?
Oh yeah. Hang on.
Okay. Nice. You successfully managed to dodge out of the way of this dog pouncing at you.
Yeah.
Your turn.
I want to. I'm just gonna try and like hit it, but not with a weapon. I'm gonna like kick it.
Sure. Alright, it will attempt to dodge this. Or will it? I don't know. Doesn't seem to want to. Come on now. Cool. You successfully kick a dog.
Yep.
You did do a critical success, so
Mm-hmm.
can you roll for me, please? A D100.
Cool.
points in the body, 24. Alright, I'll need to make an endurance test on this doggo, otherwise it's going to be stunned. And it is a hard endurance test. Dog's like, no worries. Not a problem. Next, please.
Bastard.
Dog number 2 is going to jump at Ulrich.
But sweet Jörg,
You're having flashbacks to Sweet Jörg, are we?
he's already dead. The undead dog's coming at me.
Right, so it's going to spend its advantage that it earned from charging to do a free bite attack at you.
Sick son of a bitch. Fuck. Alright, bite down on this axe. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh, that's not good.
oh dear. That is 11 points of damage.
Cool. So that's 6 damage.
Nice.
So that takes me down to 15.
And then it's going to do its pounce attack at you, because that was its free attack.
Okay.
And it actually will have a point of advantage, because he wounded you.
He has 2 whole advantage.
1 whole
Oh,
advantage.
nice.
It had to spend an advantage to do the free
Oh,
attack.
okay, I see.
Ooh, okay.
Oh!
Okay. Well, it loses its advantage. So,
Wonderful.
that's a shame. Ulrich, you're up.
Yeah, we bastard, get over here, laddie! I'll smack him in the head. So let me just double check what I'm on. It's nothing to do. If I... Oh, it's been disengaging. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Right on his head.
Potential.
Big baseball bat swing.
Nice. You do manage to swat it for a grand total of 12 damage.
12 damage.
Can you roll for me, please, a d10?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Okay. It takes 12 damage. It is a good boy, which means that it only takes most of that. Alright, Johanna, you're up. Your 2 compatriots have been attacked by dogs. What do you do?
Well, I guess I'll have to kind of attack the dogs back.
It does sound unfortunate, but it does also seem like the only option.
I'm gonna use my whip.
Sure, whip it good.
Whip it good. Difficulty?
Challenge. Are you getting into melee range with the whip, or are you doing it from a distance?
Well, 6 foot range.
Okay, so that's about 2 yards. So you could do it from range. If you do it from range, you will not get outnumbering.
Well, let's step in then. Let's bring it to them.
Okay.
You mean you could have literally rawhided earlier, Steph, if you had a whip?
You literally
Well, I
could have.
forgot.
No, that's right.
So
So difficulty?
yeah.
Yeah.
That makes it average then. Nice. Who are you assisting? Sorry, Wolfgang or Ulrich?
Who's closest to me?
I'll leave that amongst the lot of you to decide who you're closest to.
Well, I don't know. I'm asking.
I don't know.
I'm going to say that Wolfgang was probably deeper into, well, I say deeper into the warehouse that you couldn't get into. So, it's probably going to be Ulrich.
Cool. Then Ulrich.
In which case, that makes it Caden that I need to roll for. Poor Caden, the dog who has already suffered so much. Oh dear.
Yes.
That is an unconscious dog.
We love
Good.
to see it.
I will not be hitting it further.
Which will put a deceased symbol on it.
But it's only unconscious.
It's only unconscious for now.
It's fainted like a Pokemon.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly right. You've got to take it
Exactly.
to Nurse Joy.
Yeah.
Nailed it. It's been a long time. Right, it is the other dog's go. It's going to need to make a cool test, I think, to see if it's going to hang around now that its fellow has been knocked unconscious. I think it's going to be a hardish one. It does. It passes its cool test. All right. It's going to attack you again then, Alex.
Sure. Do I have a friend helping me?
Not at this point in time, you don't.
No, okay, that's fine.
All right. Then it is your go.
Great. I'm going to attempt to
Kick
strike it.
Yep.
But again, unarmored, like with just kick it. Like, I figure it kind of like jumps at me. I'm kind of like tried to dodge, but it kind of landed on me, and I've just sort of held it at arm, kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah.
While it's bork, bite. I'm gonna just kind of like try to kind of slam it into the ground a bit.
Yep.
I guess, like as a strike, is what I'm trying to do. Like that.
Cool. All right. It will take just 3 damage from that.
Mhm.
That's all right. It will therefore take no damage. You'll gain a point of advantage.
Mhm.
And Caden is out of the picture, so it is now Ulrich, your go. Nixon.
Yes, I will utilize my axe.
Sure. And that'll be now
Oh,
average.
its name is Wrench, right? Okay. Its name is
It'll now be average because you are now outnumbering it.
beautiful. Outstanding. Sir, come at me, dog.
Oops.
You
Alright.
filthy swine. Think you can dodge an axe?
I think you'll find it's actually a dog, not a swine, but sure. It does alright.
Being able to do it. One off.
One off. Alright, that is 11 points of damage. I need you to roll for me, please, a D10. Oh, it's close again. It's close.
Both times. Scarily close.
Alright, it's down. It's not out yet. Johanna, you're up.
Alright. I'm gonna whip it good.
Whip it good. Are you going to get into combat with it, or are you going to hang back and whip it from a distance?
I guess I'll get into combat to kind of crowd it a bit.
Alright, that means that you are now outnumbering it 3-1, which means this will now be an easy test.
Cool. Let's whip it good. Yay. Whipped.
Whipped. Cool whipped. That is not the one I'm after. I want the other one. A dodge. It succeeds. It successfully dodges your attack. Lose your advantage, madam.
Bother.
And it shall gain one. Alright. It is the top of the next round, and your boy Wrench is going to see if he can hang around whilst he's getting wailed on.
Cool.
No.
Can I? Because like we act at the same time. Is that how that works?
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. Can I go for like an intimidate?
Yeah, you can do it. It has failed its cool test, so if you want to do
Yeah.
your intimidate at the same time, that
Yeah.
that will work.
I just want to like yell it and sort of match, you know, dominate your dog.
You've got to
Like,
dominate your dog.
Bad dog, go away, bad dog. You know, shoo, rah, shoo, get on, go on, get out of there. Is it challenging? Is it easy?
I'm going to say it's going to be average.
Yep.
Excellent. It gains 3 broken conditions from the loud noises, and it buggers off.
Good.
You can hear the town watch in the distance. You know that watchman, that night watchman, will be leading them here. So whether or not you want to come to try and hide in this warehouse or hide in the warehouse that you know is empty, a couple of warehouses down, up to you.
What do you think, guys?
Oh, up to you. I don't know.
Let's hide. Let's try and hide in the empty warehouse and kind of like
Sure.
bar the door as best we can,
Sure. So
so it looks like we've run away. I
Yep.
guess.
sounds good.
Yeah.
You quite easily make your way into the warehouse. Can I
Mhm.
get let's see. No, I'm not even going to need you to make any tests for this. I think you quite comfortably, you have enough of a lead in to get into the warehouse, close the door, and sort of secure it in such a manner that it doesn't look like it's been, opened.
Yep.
And then sort of hide yourself in the warehouse. The town watch, you can hear them run past. You can hear them sort of creak the door open and look in, but they don't really pay too much attention. They don't see you at all. You have hidden yourself quite
Yeah.
well, in fairness.
Yeah.
And then they close the door and then they go away.
Yeah.
And that is where we will leave it for tonight.
All right.
I'm scared of whatever the
Yeah.
fuck is going on.
Yeah.
It's
What, like-
suspicious.
I'm worried that we've got the
I'm
wrong. We don't have
also-
enough information.
I'm also concerned
know.
because it wasn't necessarily. It can also be someone else writing in someone else's blood.
Well, there is that. There's so much that, and we also don't know that WHSE means warehouse.
Mm. On top of that, there's a doppelganger running around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strong.
I feel
fear,
like jumping out the window did not solve all our problems.
but it solved one of them.
But
So,
it
at
did
least
result in
then.
us coming up with the term auto-fenestration, which I'm sure exists
true.
as a term.
Yeah,
think
so
it does now.
I think
Does
that
now.
wins.
I think
That's a
maybe,
win.
maybe that'll be the title of this episode when I share it on YouTube, is auto-fenestration.
Yeah, auto-fenestration. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Cool.
Alrighty. Thank
Well,
you very much.
That was fun.
It was good fun. I've never had so much fun being pursued.
Yeah, this is the most pursuing we've done the entire campaign.
It's nice
Yeah.
to feel
Um,
wanted.
Also, Wolfgang goddamn MVP.
Oh.
Multiple
Oh my
times.
gosh.
Holy shit.
Just talking down a raging
Banger
mob.
after banger
true.
after banger.